Hello students and a very warm welcome to all of you. Students, please confirm if I'm audible and visible to all of you in comment box. Students, please comment in the comment box if I'm audible and visible to all of you. Okay, thank you Sachin. Thank you Deepika. A very good morning to all of you. Yes, Surya, good morning. Ayush, good morning. A very good morning. So how are you guys doing? कैसी चल रही है आप लोगों की तैयारी? Okay, thank you Ayush. Thank you Cherry. Okay, so let's begin this discussion and the session, a very important session for all of you who are aspiring for 2026. So first of all, let's take a poll. Good morning, Manoj. Good morning, Saurabh. So please type in the comment box the year you are aspiring for, 2025, 2026, 2027. Please write in the comment box. A very good morning, Saurabh and Manoj. Okay, Saurabh, you are aspiring for 27. Perfect. Manoj is there for 26. And this Ayush, again, how to select optional, that we'll discuss later. Arjun is again for 26. So most of the audience, I guess, is for 26 and 27. Right, perfect. So this is what we want. Okay, Varsha, good to know that you are preparing for 26. Okay, so students, this is a very important session for you. Very few people will tell you that UPSC is not a one-year game. It is not. That's why I have come up with this session. UPSC 2026 is a perfect game plan. And for this, you need to understand why these first 6 months matter the most. Because many students in the very beginning are not very sure when should they start preparing. So a lot of toppers and all the other noise actually tells them, okay, UPSC can be done in 6 months, 7 months, 4 months. There are various toppers who has even said, I have only prepared for 4 months and qualified. So let me tell you, my dear students, it's all a myth. They are just paid to say things like that just to promote something, right? So use your mind. UPSC is a vast ocean, basically, which needs you to prepare well, right? So in this session, I'll be discussing about that, what is needed for you to crack this 2026 attempt. Okay, Arpan, 2026 geography optional, main problem is answer writing. Yes, this is again a very important problem. Many of you face this issue. Yeah, good morning, Adi. Good morning, Shivam. Okay, so students, I'm Shashank Gupta. I am prelims and program head for this Step Up Mentorship program. So in this session, first of all, let me show you a few pictures. How many of you recognize these two legends? Who are they? At least this one. How many of you recognize this person? Yeah, good morning, Neha. So I hope most of you will recognize these people. This is Cristiano Ronaldo and this is our very favorite Virat Kohli. So what is common between these two people? They are very hardworking, but at the same time, they work very hard pre-season. Do you think Kohli will just go out there in the stadium and give a 100-run inning? No, it is not possible. You have to work very hard pre-season to actually deliver on the ground. Similarly, Cristiano Ronaldo, he is often the first one to come to training and the last one to leave. So many people say hard work is not needed. Again, smart work is needed, but hard work is a prerequisite. There's a threshold that you need to crack. After that, only smart work will do. So there's a very famous line: all men are created equal, some work hard pre-season. So this is what differentiates a very good person, very good athlete or a student from a legend of the game or a topper. So this is the pre-season that I am talking about. Many people will think, yes, we'll start studying after prelims or mains, whatever. But mind you, you need at least 18 months of dedicated preparation. We'll see why. But before that, I'll just like to ask all of you, do you think 6 months are enough for UPSC, or 8 months maybe? Do you think that? If you are starting from scratch, if you are just beginning, do you think it is possible to crack UPSC in just 6 months? Just comment in the comment section so that I know who am I talking to. So Deepika is saying no, it is not possible. What about you, Ayush, Neha, Shivam? Do you think it is possible? No, not for the first time. Yes, exactly. If you have a foundation, if you have your notes ready, if you have someone who is guiding you properly, then obviously it is possible that you can crack this exam in lower time than that. But it is very much needed that you have a hold on this process from the very beginning. So that's why these 180 days are very much crucial, beginning now from March to September. Why I'm saying this? Just try to understand. There will be several people, veterans of the game, who will be writing mains this year, right? So many of you who are just starting may not be able to compete from them from the very beginning because they know all the subjects, they have their notes ready. What you need is these 6 months. These 6 months are crucial for you to take you to that level or even higher level than that, right? But if you are not motivated enough or lethargic enough, you'll say, okay, I'll just start preparing in July or September. Then mind you, it will be very difficult for you to crack this exam because first 6 months are very much needed to build a foundation kind of thing. Foundation in the sense, suppose you have your syllabus. I hope many of you have gone through the syllabus at least. Is it possible? Yes. No, it's a myth. Yeah, not work out for everyone. Yes, I completely agree with all of you. So what I was saying is, basically there are two kinds of students. One who starts early and one who is very much overconfident and later realizes that no, his or her level of preparation is not up to the mark. Maybe they'll clear the prelims, but in mains they'll struggle. Or even they may qualify mains and go to the interview stage. But even then, they may miss out the cutoff, right? And again, they will come back to the whole cycle, right? So for you to get a very good AIR under 50, you need very smart strategy as well as hard work from your end. It is possible, but without actually guidance, if there is no one to guide you, it is very difficult. So suppose there is a student A who is very much organized from the very beginning. He has study plans. He has a regular mentor with him who can actually correct his mistakes. So course correction is very much needed, and he does that. He writes their test, prelims, mains, whatever is needed. This is one case A. And then there is a second student who prepares very haphazardly. One day he picks up polity, prelims. Next day, he'll go to ethics or economics, mains. And again, after 2 months, he will be very much confused. What have I achieved? So how many of you have faced this problem that preparation is not very much streamlined or it's very much haphazard? How many of you have faced this problem? Just comment so that I know what you are facing. Right, Ayush? Aditya, Desai, you face this problem. What is your problem, Aditya? Are you not able to plan well? Or you are just jumping around the hoops? Yes, Neha. Okay, you are facing the same issue. Deepika, right? So also try to elaborate your issue as well. In the starting phase, this problem, but check online. And again, yes, okay. Unable to plan. Yes, this is a very common thing. I must tell you, my dear students, 99% of the people, they start with very good intentions, a lot of motivation. When I have students who leave their high paying jobs and then they start preparing. Initially, the motivation level is very high. They have left high paying jobs. The opportunity cost is very high, right? So motivation is very high. But as and when time grows, the motivation dips. So again, many of you may face the same problem. Yes, consistency is again a very big issue. Consistency. So this is what I was telling you. Student A is very much consistent. A very much balanced approach is being followed by him. He knows what to do. He is not panicky, right? He knows he is doing right. He has the support of his mentor and he is doing what is needed. So these things tells us there are several issues that aspirants, students face in this UPSC journey. And I'm not blaming them, because the issue is UPSC is supposed to be like that. You are going to be among 100 people in the country, 100 officers who are going to run the country. So they are testing you to the limits, right? Because a whole district will be under you. Suppose a district has 10 lakh population. So the destiny of these 10 lakh population also depends on you on some way. Right, again, Sachin, very good point. Regret of time which you wasted. So if you are not planning well, if you are not strategizing well, and then implementing that, this is the recurring issue. And again, it's not a common thing that you see people year after year failing in this exam and not learning, and that this same feeling comes to them, that feeling of regret because they are not able to reach their own potential. I know most of you have this potential to clear this exam, given the right guidance, giving the right approach. And in this era of, again, information overload, you become very kind of confused, because person A will say something, person B will say something, one institute is saying something, other institute is telling something. Toppers, every day you have a lot of sessions. So no one is actually telling you what is needed for you. I'm not saying they are wrong. They have their own journey, right? So again, this is a final destination. This is the path. There can be several paths for it. But topper that he or she is telling is their own journey. I'm not telling they are very wrong. They may be right. But at the same time, you have to understand, you have to have a very personalized journey for yourself. And this is the target that I have, this institute have, a very personalized approach that is needed for your preparation, right? So I hope it is clear for you that if you are not planning well, the only thing that you will get is regret. Regret that you are not able to live up to the expectations of your parents, of all those people who believe in you, right? And this is, again, this is occurring day in, day out with 90% of the people, because again, they are not very well mentored, right? So what we need is to understand why they are committing mistakes and what are the most common mistakes that you are committing. So let's look at the 7 deadly sins that I call them. 7 deadly sins of UPSC aspirants by students. At the top of it is starting without having a clear roadmap. Mayank is asking, sir, when we should give tests for prelims and when to give for mains. Yes, Mayank, very good question. And I'll come back to this in this session only. I have everything planned for you. I'll just need some more time, right? So first, let's look at the problems, the deadly sins, not just the problem, deadly sins that you are committing because of all this hoopla in the market, right? Everyone is saying their own story. You are not connecting with any one of them and finally getting very much confused. So you are starting without a clear roadmap. First thing first, always give a timeline for your target. Doesn't matter if this is the UPSC target or anything. Just write your goal, write down your goal and put it out in your pocket, in your wallet, wherever you want to, in front of you. So this is what we call first giving yourself a time limit. Give yourself a target that yes, I will be going to be an IAS officer or whatever service that you want in this year. And that visualize day in, day out. First thing is ask and then believe, and then only you will be able to receive. This is very important. This is a very common but most forgotten thing. This is what people call the secret. Ask, believe, receive. So first you have to ask and then you have to believe. So write it down. Sir, why is again? Okay, we are working on that, Akash. We are working on that. So I hope you will get those things very soon, right? So this is what I want you to do. Set a very clear roadmap for yourself. First timeline and then a roadmap. So start your preparation by giving a roadmap, and this is what many people neglect. So deadly sin number one, not having a clear roadmap. Next deadly sin, too much new material. Too much new material and very less focus on revision and consolidation. Students, I know many of you may be the victim of this, I must say, capitalism, where every new gadget, you want that. Similarly, every new book, every new material, you want to have it in your cupboard. Doesn't matter if you are actually reading it or not, internalizing it or not, but you are having that. So this is again a very deadly sin. How many of you do this? Be very honest. Comment in the comment box. I want you to be very honest, because if I am not aware the level at which you are at, the mistakes you are committing, I will not be able to help you. So write in the comment box whether you are doing any of this. Okay, thank you, Balaji. Thank you for being so honest. By the end of this session, I'll try to give you what is needed for you so that you do not have these issues or don't commit these deadly sins. Right, Preetham? I'll come back to that. कि consistency maintain कैसे होगी, and this is again very important. I'll come to it. And then the third deadly sin is not focusing on high yield topics. So because they do not know syllabus or previous year questions are being neglected by them. So if you see any year, so suppose we take example of prelims, you know from parliament, the questions will be there. From president, governor, these are very burning topics. Supreme Court. Similarly from mains, if I talk about GS3, economics, suppose. Economics is very lengthy, but at the same time, every year or something, they will ask about inclusive growth or food processing industries. Right? So first, understand what are these high yield areas. Because, my dear students, you must understand, मैं हमेशा अपने बच्चों से एक बात कहता हूं कि यूपीएससी ना एक समंदर की तरह है. Right? This is like an ocean. UPSC is like an ocean. अगर if you don't plan well, ये आपको बहा ले जाएगा. What you need to do is, you need to find your islands so that you can go to your journey, final destination. So बांधना पड़ेगा इसको. Right? So for everything, you have to break down. और उसमें फिर we have to apply. We'll come to that. But what I wanted to tell you is having proper strategy is very crucial. Knowing what you can do in a limited time, what you cannot do is again very important. Right? So be a bit more strategic. So focus on these high yield topics. And then, my dear students, the next issue, the deadly mistake that you commit, and specifically from mains point of view, it is also important for prelims as well, but more needed in mains, is that either you make too much notes, ग्रंथ बन जाते हैं, right? कि polity के you have 500 pages or 600 pages or 400 pages. and then you have 300 pages for economics. Always remember, whatever you cannot revise 5, 6, 7 times in mains will not be any use. Similarly for prelims, right? So what you need is optimum notes, optimum level of notes, so that you can actually revise. Imagine, how many of you have actually given this mains anytime? Have you ever given any mains in UPSC so far? Please write in the comment box if you have. Okay, so many of you who have experienced mains will know that mains happens in very few days. 3 days, suppose first is essay, and then next 2 days GS 1, 2, and then GS 3, 4. So you cannot revise everything in that particular time if you do not have your notes with you. Similar is the case with prelims. If you want to improve your accuracy in prelims, you have to revise multiple times. We all know this, but we again commit this deadly sins because we are not able to create notes. Either you are not creating notes or you are overly creating notes. So basically, you are making your books out of itself. That is needed. So Ishwar, again, have you faced this problem that revision was an issue in mains due to the lack of time that you had? Right? Next deadly sin that you commit is only reading and not applying. So if I ask you, have you read something in Parliament chapter? So can you write? Yes, Ishwar has faced that. So can you write a question on that? A mains question maybe. Many of you will hesitate. Okay, sir, we have not started answer writing, so we cannot write an answer yet. This is a very big excuse that you make, right? That you are only focusing on reading texts or books, whatever you have, but not applying that. So this is equally true from your prelims as well as mains. So many people don't know that you have to give tests. You have to test yourself every day, more or less every second day, third day, if you want to improve, right? Otherwise, passively reading won't add much. How many of you do agree with this point? That you are just reading and not actually testing yourself? Do comment. And then final sixth issue, deadly sin that you commit is basically you are not learning from your mistakes. Many of you actually do attempt the test or write the test, but they are not learning from the mistakes. And the people who don't learn from the mistakes are bound to commit the same mistakes again and again and again, right? So there is no point in that. So these are some of the deadly sins. And finally, again, many of you struggle with actual balancing all parts of the preparation, be it GS and CSAT, be it static and current affairs of preparation. So you are just overly confident in one or neglecting other. Suppose there is a students with maths, they are giving 7 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day to maths and not covering enough GS, right? Or similarly, there's maybe a student who has a political science in background, suppose BA, and then they are focusing too much on GS and not focusing on optional, right? So again, they will commit this deadly sin of not balancing all the aspects of the preparation. So I know many of you do this. So these are some of the deadly sins which you have to stay away from. Because if you commit these sins, my dear students, you will understand that time will not favor you. UPSC will not favor you. UPSC is very brutal in the sense, even if you commit one mistake, suppose you are writing mains and you have not prepared your essay well, and you get more or less decent marks in all the subjects, but in essay you get 70 marks. Do you think you can be selected? It's very highly improbable. Similarly in prelims, you go with polity, history, economics, but you leave out environment, or suppose ancient agriculture, or suppose current affairs. So it is very difficult for you to actually get selected in that attempt. UPSC is very brutal. You have to tick more or less all the boxes, major boxes at least, right? Otherwise, what happens is You give your best, but you are not taking feedback, so you don't know what is working and what is not. And in this sense, one mistake will actually cost you a year. And believe me, people have come with this belief कि एक साल में AIR 1 लेके चले जाएंगे, और वो कब 1 year plan 5 year plan में बदल जाता है, they never get to understand that, right? तो यहां पे time becomes relative. बाकी दोस्तों की शादी हो चुकी होगी, बट यहां पे बच्चे वही पढ़े जा रहे हैं, वो चीज इशू उनका नहीं है, इशू इसका है कि दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट मिस्टेक्स दे आर कमिटिंग एंड देन दे आर नॉट लर्निंग फ्रॉम देम मिस्टेक्स, राइट? सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, एज आई सेड, हैव अ वेरी फिक्स्ड टाइमलाइन फॉर योरसेल्फ. एक साल ही रखना है. दिस इज द, टेक इट एज योर फर्स्ट एंड लास्ट अटेम्प्ट. दिस 2026 फर्स्ट एंड लास्ट अटेम्प्ट. Promise yourself that you will give your best in this attempt. Promise yourself. Do write in the comment box as well, sir, I am with you, I will give my best in this attempt. And this is what I need from you. This is what I need from my students, to be very disciplined and have this confidence that says, I will do it. Given the right guidance, I will do it. So this is, if you are not correcting your mistakes in time, it is very costly. Many of you are leaving your jobs. So again, cost benefit, if you see the opportunity cost here, it's very high, even for those who are have not left their jobs, but you may have gone somewhere else, find a job maybe, right? So again, opportunity cost is very high for every one of you. So it's very good to hear that Balaji is saying, yes, I will give my best. Similarly, Deepika, I want these students who can actually give their best day in, day out. I know highs and lows will come, but at the same time, you have to be disciplined enough. And we'll discuss about the role of discipline and consistency as well, right? So also, my dear students, if you are not taking these 6 months very carefully, these 6 months are very much crucial for your next 18 months, because you need time to course correct. No one is born a topper. Toppers are made by working every day, right? So you will start with maybe 20 marks in mains. I have seen students who have begun from this score and got on to get a very good rank. Even last year, there was a student who scored first test 17 marks in full length and then got a very good rank. So what I want you to do is having enough time, because we cannot fight with time. If you have just 2 months and you are saying and coming to me, sir, I want to improve in mains, I have not touched answer writing, so it is very difficult. So I want you to focus on these first 6 months of your next 18 months. It is crucial for you. Okay, students, many of you also don't course correct because you don't get right guidance, because very few actually know what to do, right? All this will lead to very huge opportunity cost, which I discussed monetarily, family, mental health. I know this, right? I have been there on the other side as well. There are so many students who come to me day in, day out, कि sir, family support करना बंद कर देगी, right? They are also very much bothered कि क्या कर रहा है हमारा बच्चा, right? So I'm not saying they are wrong. They are very right. But at the same time, you have to understand, you have to plan accordingly, that you will live up to the expectation of everyone. Give your best, right? This is what I want. Sir, after how many readings can we start answer writing? Very good question, Monica. Very good question. And this, I'll get back to you in a little more time, right? So what I want you to understand is, this is very huge cost on you. And some people even do not get this chance. I have so many students, specifically girls students, coming from this belt of Haryana, Punjab maybe, right? And they come, sir, we will not get another chance, we will be married off. And this is a reality. This is a very sad reality, but this is a reality. So some people do not get this chance because of maybe gender restrictions, but also class wise. Not many people have this money to actually pursue this dream. This is a very expensive dream, I must say this, right? So I want you to avoid those deadly sins and understand this is a huge opportunity cost involved. And that's why make sure that you give your best in this attempt. I want you to put your best foot forward in this attempt, right? And for that, so I hope many of you are with me till now. Please write, sir, I am with you in the comment box if you understand what I am saying. If you understand what importance it is for you to first focus on these 6 months. Please, I want this to be a very interactive session, students, so that I can actually interact with you. Thank you, Deepika. Thank you, Manoj. Thank you, Work Smart 66. What's your name, Work Smart? Right. Monica, thank you. So I hope you understand what I have told you so far. So what I'm going to tell you is a 18-month scientific strategy. Students having Hindi medium back nahi hai. Again, Preetham, there is a Hindi medium batch for it as well. I'll tell you about that. You can contact our team for that. Step Up ka bhi Hindi medium batch hai. Okay, so let's move forward. Here, I'll try to give you a 18-month scientific strategy. So this is a very important quote. You must understand this. If I give you something, very important target, so I want you to understand the role of planning and strategizing. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I'll spend first 4 hours sharpening the axe. So basically, working on your skills. This is what Abraham Lincoln said, and this is very important for you as well. So sharpen your axe, strategize, plan, so that that plan will actually work. But at the same time, you have to seek guidance. You have to seek help, because not everyone knows what to do. Within your limited experience, you may commit some mistakes. You also need to cross-check that. So if I give you any problem, my dear students, how will you approach that? Suppose it's a very huge problem, complex problem. How would you approach that? It's a very big issue. Suppose issue of maths or economy. So how do you break down that problem? How do you solve that problem? I have given you a hint already. Try to comment in the comment box. So suppose economy is not performing well up to the standards of government. How shall we solve this? So basically, any kind of problem, I believe you have to break down in particular tasks, right? Breaking down is very important. I come from computer science background, right? So BTech. So basically, after that, I have also worked in MNCs, and where I learned even the biggest of MNCs start with a single step. You have very huge architecture, right? Very huge problem. But what you do is you break down. Suppose this is an WhatsApp. So this is a service overall. So this is what? SMS service. This is calling service, something like that. So basically, breaking down your problem will help you. Similarly, the biggest of the problems is for you clearing the UPSC. So what I want you to do is break down the process, break down the components. So what are the major components of UPSC, my dear students? Do let me know. I want to check how aware are you regarding this exam that you are actually wanting to clear. What are the major components that you must master if you want to clear this exam? Do type in your comment box. Please be interactive. So again, I'll try to do it for you. So I am giving you a phase-wise preparation strategy. Phase-wise. So phase depends on the level of preparation you have, the duration of the phase, but it remains sectional. Yes, Manoj, this is very good. You have your GS with you. You have your optional with you. You have your CSAT. Again, very important, CSAT. Many students forget this. I had a very good student. Initially, in first 2 attempts, he was again, he was from IIT, AIA 45. Imagine that. And he was not able to clear CSAT. For first 2 times, he was not able to clear the CSAT. In GS, he had around 120, 125 marks. Right? I'll try to understand the problem and I'll try to make a plan according to level of difficulties. Again, very good. Mayor is saying consistency, curiosity, and commitment. Yes, it is a very important aspect, but how do you solve it? This is my question. This was my question. Very important, balancing static and dynamic aspects of the preparation. Yes, good Balaji. Yes, Deepika, you are also right. So what I want you to focus on is break down everything in 2 phases. Let's suppose first, assuming that you are just starting or you have a basic familiarity with the subjects, suppose we plan for next 3 to 6 months. So what I want you to do is, suppose wake up in the morning, start with newspapers so that you take care of your current affairs, maybe some of your essay and your optional. Then plan for your GS. Suppose GS is for 1000 marks and you allocate say 5 hours. Right? So first half goes to GS because it is 1000 marks. Then your optional is 500 marks. Right? So you can, if by maths, if you are allocating 5-6 hours for 1000, so at least 2-3 hours are needed for your optional as well. Right? So this is for your optional. And then you can bring it down for your even current affairs magazine, whatever you are reading. So this can be a small step. But broadly, if I have to give you a phase-wise thing, so what I'll tell you to do is focus on every subject. Every subject is equally important, at least important. So if I talk about mains, suppose. So you have your ethics, GS4, you have GS2, you have GS3. GS2 mein you have polity, you have governance, you have IR, right? Things like that. So plan accordingly, right? Suppose for next 7 days, I'll try to read governance, right? So focus on every subject, and within that subject, go to the first thing is go to your syllabus, previous year questions, so that you understand what have been the most frequent recurring topics, high yielding topics. Suppose self-help group, it is very crucial. Citizen charter, every year or other you will have a question on that. So for every subject, give a specific time and then focus on these first topics first, high return topic first. Always remember, you need not do PhD. अगर PhD करी तो 5 साल लगेंगे और तब भी नहीं होगा. So never focus on doing PhD in a particular subject. Always focus on incremental progress. Right? I'll tell you what it is. Then I need you to focus on previous year's analysis in the very beginning. I'm talking about prelims as well as mains. Right? Because your preparation in this phase has to be very much integrated. In fact, preparation has to be integrated for most of the times. This is the biggest blunder that people make, the students make, that they segregate this. This is prelims, this is mains. No, prelims will help you in mains in actually substantiating your arguments. Mains will help you in prelims as well, right? Major schemes, major analysis of the schemes, things like that. So identify broader trends, broader themes. Suppose for prelims, ancient art and culture, if you have only 1 day to revise, what topics will you revise? What topics will you revise, Deepika, if you have only 1 day in art and culture for prelims? Others can also comment. I want to test the level at which you understand UPSC mindset. Please write. Okay? So I'll come back to it. So you understand and analyze the trends, the patterns, and then try to make your notes theme-wise. Specifically for mains, try to make your theme-wise notes. Right? What I mean by theme-wise, suppose there is a basic structure doctrine. What is it doctrine about? What is the evolution of the cases? Right? Basic structure doctrine, introduction in 3-4 lines, then evolution, various cases, Shankar Prasad, Golaknath, Keshananda Bharti, Minerval Mills case, right? Significance of the doctrine, issues with the doctrine, and then way forward and conclusion. This is how you have to make your notes. So thematic notes are very much important. Yes, Deepika, good try that what is in the news. It is important, but at the same time, my dear students, you have to understand, if you have analyzed previous year question, you will come to understand Buddhism, Jainism. Most important topic. Indus Valley civilization, Ashoka, right? And maybe you can come back to Gupta period, Harshvardhan, and then Sangam. If you have to revise, just revise this much, right? These are some of the high yielding topics. There's a joke inside UPSC circles that if you see Ashoka in the option, even if you don't read the question, it is highly probable that Ashoka will be the answer, right? So again, this you get by analyzing the previous year questions. And similar is the case with mains. You see, if you have good command on previous year questions in mains, 50 to 60% of your work is already done. Believe me, if you have made thematic notes, yeah, this is a later period, Prateek. Yeah, but you are again very much correct. So previous year questions will tell you about what to prepare, how to prepare, what trends to prepare, what topics to prepare, right? So try to make notes first of all, impactful notes. How to do that, and that we'll come up with other sessions as well. So, and in the end, you need to have one-pager notes, as I told you about basic structure doctrine. Suppose. Also, previous year also tells you what can be asked in future, right? So, suppose women empowerment has been asked, or suppose status of women in parliament has been asked. So later they can ask you about role of women, reservation in judiciary, right? So you can guess these kinds of questions. You can prepare ahead. It's a basically you can glimpse into the future as well with the use of previous year questions. So in the first phase, I want you to understand, make a plan, maybe on basis of your mentors or your test series, right? So basically, with the help of mentor, you make a plan. Said I'll be covering this subject in these many days. Then I'll write the test. Then I'll come back to you. Something like that. Okay? And then finally, you have to revise. Make sure every day you give at least 1 or 1.5 hours for your revision. This is one of the most neglected aspects of UPSC preparation by aspirants. My dear students, always understand one thing. When you work in a company, suppose a company is very new. Suppose there is a ABC company that I launched today. In the beginning, you will have a lot of products R&D going on. So I may try to launch this and that. But as and when company matures, there will be very few products, and that you have to maintain. So time on basic maintenance will go high, right? Similarly, in the initial, you will read. But as you read, you will have to consolidate. And for that, you need time for revision. You are getting my point, right? I hope you are getting my point here. So you need to revise. Revisions has to be many. So again, there's a lot of techniques for revision. So that day, after 3 days, 7 days, 21 days, at least this much you can do, right? And then you will be able to recall it better. Or you can try to discuss it with your friends. But mind you, don't over discuss. I have seen students just trying to show off their knowledge within their circles. That is not needed. Your results, your scores will tell, right? So yes, a healthy conversation is good, but at the same time, you have to make sure that yes, you are building something, right? So in the first phase of preparation, what you need to do is cover your basics, try to understand all the aspects of the syllabus, right? And try to revise that. What are the don'ts in this phase? Don't refer too many sources. As I said, this is a deadly sin for you. Consolidate a topic from a source and then revise it multiple times. This is the better strategy. Also, don't focus on making too many notes. People tend to make a book out of Lakshmikant itself. That is not needed. First, revise 1-2 times, then see what is that you are not able to remember. And then the test will help you, right? So, revise and test yourself. The frequency can be a bit lower in this phase. Okay? Are you with me on all this? I hope you are getting the point here. Now, I just want to highlight one more thing here, one very important thing. I told you all subjects are important, but always remember, all subjects are equal, but some subjects are more equal than others. What does it mean by this? What do I mean by this statement? Then some subjects are more equal than others. What I mean is, if you look at GS1 in mains, you have how many components of GS1, my dear students? Write it in the comment box. I want to see how much you know about the syllabus. What are the major components in GS1? Yes, Deepika, Pratik. What are these 4 components? History, geography, art and culture, and yes, someone is getting it right. History, geography, and society. Very good. Pratik, you are right, but at the same time, art and culture is part of history, right? So I can broadly categorize it: history, society, and then geography. How many questions are being asked from history? Around 1/3, 8 to 9 questions every year. Similarly, 8, 7, 8 to 9 geography. Similarly, 7 to 8 questions every year from society. How many books do you read for history? There are 6 kinds of history. As Pratik said, ancient history, medieval history, modern history, world history, post-independence history, art and culture. So out of these 6 types of history, you are getting 8 questions in mains. Now, if you have looked at the syllabus of society, you have maybe 5-line syllabus. If you have micro themes, around 20 themes that you can prepare in a week or something. Just revise it regularly and you will be able to get what you get from history. And in history, there's a huge chance that you may not know something. They can talk, you have learned about Vijayanagara, they can ask about Kakatiya dynasty. So, because history is so vast, that's why I said some subjects are more equal than others. From GS1 point of view, society is a very low hanging fruit that you can prepare well. Similarly, you have suppose various things in prelims as well: science and tech, polity, something that can be very much productive, right? Polity, you are supposed to make 90-95% accuracy in prelims, right? So this is what I meant by some subjects are created more equal. And a final caution in this phase: never neglect your CSET. Doesn't matter, as I said, are you coming from IIM or IIT background, doesn't matter to me. Just focus on CSET based on your preparation, and starting point will be to analyze previous year question. Take down a test of CSET, suppose 2018, 2021, whatever you feel like, 2 hours, give yourself time and analyze whether you are in the safe zone or not. If you are below 90, then you need to work on CSET. If you are below 70, then you need to work hard on CSET, right? Always remember this. I'll come to these things in other sessions as well, but for now, this is the phase 1. What do you do in phase 2? In phase 2, you focus on learning. First, you have to identify who are you in this preparation. Where do you stand in this preparation, right? So, someone may be here, someone may be here, someone may be here. You are here. But how would you know? Unless you don't test yourself. And here again, as I said, passively reading is very easy. But you will get to know how you are performing when you are actually attempting tests. So this phase is focused more on test. I'm not saying you will not learn anything new. You will, but at the same time, more focus should be on testing yourself. So maybe in the beginning, when you gave 6 hours every day just for reading, you can give now 3 hours every day for GS for reading, and then next 3 hours for the test and analysis section, something like that. Always analyze your mistakes. Always analyze your mistakes. This is very crucial. I'll come to this as well. And always try to use some scientific methods to actually improve, right? So this is what I want you to do in phase 2. Also, my dear students, don't be disheartened. Many students start with tests and they get suppose 20 marks and then they become very much depressed. कि सर मार्क्स ही नहीं आ रहे, नहीं आएंगे. For the first time, if I say कि एक भाला फेंक के दिखाओ नीरज चोपड़ा की तरह, फेंक लोगे आप? नहीं फेंक पाओगे ना, because he has been training that from a long time. You are just starting and you are thinking कि मैं पहले दिन से AIR 1 जैसे आंसर लिखूंगा. How many of you have faced this? Tell me honestly. आप में से कितने लोगों ने ये इशू फेस किया है कि टेस्ट लिखने की कोशिश करते हैं, आंसर अच्छा नहीं लिख पाते, एंड देन यू गो बैक टू योर कंफर्ट जोन अगेन? प्लीज बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट. Okay, Surya, thank you. Thank you for being so honest. Thank you, Deepika. Okay, Prateek. Okay. So I think many of you face these issues because these are day-to-day issues. So my answer to you is focus. Always remember this thing, what I'm going to tell you. You are here somewhere. Suppose this is Deepika, right? So Deepika, this is the past, mistakes as well as some achievements. Maybe you are a topper in boards or in a college. This is your past. This is your future. You want to be an IAS officer or so many other goals in life as well. Always learn from the mistakes from the past. That's all. Don't carry a baggage. कि यार पिछले अटेम्प्ट में ये नहीं हुआ था तो इस बार भी नहीं हो पाएगा. I don't need that baggage. Never ever carry the baggage from the past, either in personal or in professional life. Right? So just learn from the mistakes. Similarly, you have a plan for future, you have a goal. अब रोज नहीं सोचना है कि आईएएस बनेंगे, बंगला मिलेगा, लबासना जाएंगे, ये सब नहीं सोचना है रोज. Otherwise, you will just procrastinate. Time waste ज़्यादा होगा. So what I want you to do is just focus on the present aspect. You are standing here on the ladder. You just have to make the best jump in the next phase. That's all. This is next is suppose 7-day or 10-day or 15-day, whatever you decide. Right? So give your best in that particular thing. This is the whole universe. इसके बाहर कायनात में कुछ है ही नहीं आपके लिए. It's very simple. Make your targets, complete that target in that given time as best as you can. Maybe 70%, 80% doesn't matter. But idea is be disciplined. तो इससे वो discipline आता है, consistency आता है, and for that you also may need a very good mentor, right? To actually use that. So focus on incremental progress. If you progress 1% every day for next 1 year, how many of you have maths? So if you increase your performance 1% every day, at the end of 365 days, my dear students, you will be 35 times better. This is simple maths, right? So focus on incremental progress. तो आज शायद 20 marks आए थे, next time 25-30 आएंगे. Next time, this is what I'm telling all the students. Just gauge your progress. Don't be disheartened. And then, based on the progress, you identify your strength matrix. Yeah, this is I'm good at, this is I'm not good at. Suppose I don't recollect the data for economics. So have a sheet. Revise it every day or every weekend. So according to this strength matrix, you do the revision of the subjects. This is what I mean by consolidation. Also, my dear students, in note making as well, notes initially will be bulky and it's supposed to be bulky, but over time with revision, you will concise them, refine them, right? And finally, when you test yourself, in the beginning, you may take a bit more time, but as and when you progress, always remember, you have to emulate that real-time exam hall conditions, because writing your mains in 3 hours is the biggest challenge, specifically when you are attempting for the first time, right? Many of you similarly may have faced this issue in CSAT or prelims. Ki sir, bubble nahi bhar paye, right? So in this phase, I want you to test yourself, and based on those tests and the results of those tests, focus on the improvements. Got it? I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say here. Also, my dear students, keep learning. Keep learning from the best, that is toppers. So how would you connect to the toppers? We have a surprise for you. And then what you can do for now is you can refer topper copies. They have toppers copies. You can avail it on Telegram or any other channel, right? So see how toppers are writing, how good copies are writing. Suppose if you are our student, we will give you toppers copies or toppers materials, something like that, so that you can see if it is working for you or not, if you are on the right direction or not, right? Major don'ts that you need not commit in this phase is just simply attempting tests, not analyzing them. And for that, you will need some help. You have to understand what is working for you. Again, if you're not doing this, you are just comparing your score with your friend's score. कि उसने 100 करे मेरे 80 आया, मैंने 120 कर दिया, उसके 80 आए. Doesn't matter anyway, right? Because actual mains exam में या prelims exam में people who have scored 140 will get 70 at times, and people who are scoring only 50, 60, 70 may get a very good rank, right? So it is there just to think, okay, I'm in the right direction. These are not set in stone. Okay? Also, don't compare yourself with anyone. Just comparison with you only. Yesterday's you, right? कि कल मुझे ये नहीं आता था, आज मुझे कम से कम ये आता है. This is better, right? This is working for me. So this is what I want. So I hope phase 2 is clear for every one of you. Also, I have this. I always say this to my student. You can't manage what you can't measure, right? Coming from, again, computer science background, I know the importance of data. So data-driven decisions are very important. And this has to be very much personalized for you, right? It is like a personal prescription from the doctors. So analyze the data. Analyze where you are lagging, right? And we will also help you here. But just to showcase, this is how I do it, how my team do it. Suppose in art and culture, student has written an answer. Again, this is a descriptive analysis. He covers various dimensions. 5 points were there, but flowcharts were not. Similarly, in ethics, in economics, in polity, everything. We'll try to analyze accordingly, right? So analysis and the data is very important. This is for mains. Again, something like that can be done for prelims as well, right? So how many questions you have attempted, how many were right, how many were wrong, what are the reasons that you make that question wrong? This analysis has to be very important. You have to learn from your past mistakes. So obviously you lose your battles. You lose some battles here and there. But when you lose, don't lose the lessons. That is crucial. That is crucial for self-development, improvement. Always remember this. Write this in front of you. When you lose, don't lose the lessons. If you are with me, just write in the comment box. When you lose, don't lose the lessons. When you lose anywhere, in prelims, in mains, in past attempts, in friendship, whatever, right? Just have a catalog of the mistakes that you have committed and the lessons that you can learn. And this is how you grow in professional, personal, any life. Okay? I hope this is clear for you. Also, my dear students, always remember to track basically where you need to be, right? So this is suppose an analysis of the rankers of past year. Suppose if you want to get a rank in under 10, so your average in overall written exam has to be 870. So if you are suppose having maths optional, so again 330 you can target, right? So you are left with more or less 540, right? After optional, you are left with 540. Suppose I can score, I think I can score 140, suppose. So you are left with 400 in GS. Now it seems very easy. If you break down if 400 in 4 GS papers, maybe in ethics I can have a very good score of 120. In economics, if not more than, suppose even toppers are getting between 90 to 100 these days, right? So you can plan accordingly. But first, what you need to do is analysis. And this is where I and my team will help you also, right? So analysis, where you stand, what you need to do to actually get a good rank. Okay? Now, because my target, my dear students, here is to prepare you for very good AIR in next 18 months. This is what I want to do. And that's why I started with this session that these next 6 months are crucial for actually achieving a very good rank. Otherwise, you will be just fighting to get into the list. और फिर वो वापस आना पड़ेगा अगले साल. ठीक है, लीव लेके. I don't want that. And finally, this is a phase 3. This is usually in the exam. Suppose prelims is coming, so before prelims 3 months. Similarly, mains is coming, before mains 1 month, right? Something like that. So here you have to target at least 2-3 rounds of revision, right? And for that, revise your notes, do FLTs of your GS as well as optional. Also, always make sure you have to maximize your score. You don't have to be personal कि मेरे को polity में ही आने चाहिए. Again, polity is a very low hanging fruit in prelims, but obviously you have your strengths and weakness, so play on that. So UPSC is more about maximizing your best performing areas and chasing, not chasing some random question in prelims specifically कि आर्ट एंड कल्चर में एक क्वेश्चन आ गया था, उसके लिए मैं नई बुक उठा लूंगा. नो, नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. You need only 100, 110 marks in prelims to qualify these days, right? Not 200 marks. ठीक है? Similarly, in mains, you need not have a PhD level knowledge in every question. If you attempt 12 questions, 14 questions at a very good level, next 3-4 questions at a decent level, and even 1-2 questions, if you can frame out of nowhere, again, you have some framework. Suppose demographic dividend was there, winter was there in this year mains. How many of you actually knew about this concept when it actually appeared? Demographic winter or twisters for that matter in GS1? Any of you has geography optional? Specifically, I want those to answer. Right? So this is needed. Always try to learn from previous year questions in the very end so that you get into the mindset of UPSC. This is very crucial for prelims stages, right? Because people tend to give the test series of this and that, and finally they are trained accordingly. But what you are supposed to be trained on is UPSC paper. So focus should be on previous year questions, specifically suppose in last 10-15 days of your preparation for prelims. And finally, in the actual exam hall, it is more about this game of stress management, game of nerves, right? So this is finally a mind game in actual exam hall. There are so many students who have done so good in the year around, but in mains exam or in the prelims exam actual day, they do not perform because they are not very good, right? They are not very good at calming their nerves, right? So you have to first focus on these aspects. Yes, I have to be calm. और वो एक दिन में नहीं आता. To be very frank, that's why I need you to give tests in actual exam hall conditions so that when you actually prepare, suppose 50 tests, तो उस दिन भी ऐसे लगे नॉर्मल सा दिन है and you are just going on जैसे टेस्ट देने जाते हैं वैसे ही यूपीएससी देने जा रहे हैं, राइट? तो एटलीस्ट माइंड को ऐसा शॉक ना लगे यार दिस इज सो बिग. नो, इट्स नॉट. यू हैव डन दिस इन द पास्ट. पिछले 100 टेस्ट आपने ऐसे दिए हैं, तो अगेन दिस इज जस्ट 100 फर्स्ट टेस्ट, दैट्स ऑल. ठीक है? सो दिस इज योर phase 3, right? And again, इसमें just have a checklist that you have notes ready either for prelims or for mains, one pager notes so that you can revise regularly. Always try to focus on revision and refinement. So revise, refine and repeat. This is your mantra to actually improve. Revise, refine and repeat. Suppose initially notes were 200 pages of polity. Read, revise, highlight. अब 150 के होने चाहिए next time, right? From 200 to 150, 150 to 100, 100 to 80, 80 to 50. At the very end, you have your 20-30 pages notes that you can revise very quickly. And this is what toppers do. And that's why they are there, right? And finally, always write, take feedback and learn again, right? So this is again, here a mentor becomes very important. Mentor so that they can actually guide you where you are lacking, right? And finally, always do a comparative analysis with the toppers, good copies and things like that. So this is what I want to do in overall phase 3. So these are some of the phases I have highlighted to you so that you can have a very structured preparation. And this is why I wanted you to understand that these 6 months will be crucial. I know this is easy, right? Many of you say it will be easy. We know all this. Many people know all this. If you go to a bookseller in ORN, they know what to study and what not to study, more or less, right? This is the most selling book in the market right now. So he'll push you that. But the idea is, not everyone can do it alone because of their background, because of their situation. Again, many things will be there. So I always say, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you are just planning कि हाँ यार 2 महीने में I'll just clear my mains and everything, just go alone, no issues. At the same time, if you want to go far, कि यार मुझे 2026 में I have to clear this attempt, right? So I will ask you to go together, to have a system around you that can actually push you towards your limits. Day in, day out, there have to be some sort of accountability, some sort of consistency. And this is what is lagging from the preparation of 99% of the aspirants. And this is what differentiates a topper and an average aspirant. This is very harsh truth. This is a very harsh reality, right? So if you want to go together, I'll always say focus should be on systems, because people will fail, people may fail, systems don't. Coming from again computer science background, I know if an algorithm is trained that way, it will pursue the same objective and results after every iteration. So this is what I have done in this team, that I have tried to create some processes as well as systems, so that even if you are down, we are together, right? Even if you are not scoring well, we will be there to improve your scores, right? So that you don't bog down. Yeah, disheartened, I am not going to continue. This is not my cup of tea. You need someone to actually handhold you in the process. And this is why we have actually invested in these systems, right? Creating these processes and the systems. I always believe everything great is beyond individuals. It should be beyond individuals. Cult centric personalities should not be there, right? So we need to focus on systems, processes, right? Otherwise क्या होता है, autocratic tendencies आती है. You can see examples in economy, in polity, everywhere. So always, if you have chance, you have to invest in systems, right? Always focus on investing in systems. I have a very good story for you. G. Gukesh. Many of you must know G. Gukesh, right? So G. Gukesh have achieved what many only dream of in only 80 years, right? So he was connected to Paddy Upton. He used to actually mind coach him, right? Focus on mental strength, the strategy that is needed, right? So that he can actually perform. So basically, G. Gukesh, what he did was creating a system around him. This is the same Paddy Upton who has worked with Indian team in 2011, right? So Indian team 2011, many of you know, the players were the same. Sachin Tendulkar was there. He was even there in 1999 or 2003. But why they achieved this? Because they have set up the processes. And this is the beauty of processes. Similarly, there's a story of British cycling team. They were not getting anything in 100 years before they appointed in 2003 a very cyclist coach, right? In just 5 years, they won more or less half the trophies in Olympics, just because individuals were the same, infrastructure was the same, everything was same. Just they focused on building processes and systems. So I always believe that systems don't fail, people fail, right? So try to be part of a system that will actually push you to achieve what you can achieve according to your potential, top of your potential, right? Will push you. And again, UPSC is not about an IQ game. It is not. It is more about how resilient you are. Hard work plus smart work. Your perseverance, resilience, consistency, dedication. This is what is needed, right? So this is what I want. So, and that's why we have come up with this step up mentorship program for 2026. So many people, as I can see in the audience only, they are approaching for this 2026, targeting 26 or 27. And for that, we have actually launched our batches, and very few seats are remaining in this batch. So I want you to enroll today so that we can actually start working on you. We can actually start working on very personalized mentorship, which is needed for your success, right? So what you will get is 4 layers of mentorship. First is you will have a topper, and IAS, IPS will be there to look, to have interactions with you, right? So that you have this belief, yes, you are being guided by the best. Also, then you will have me, manager of this program. Then you have specific mentors. Also, you will get a very personalized approach, not one size fit all, right? And this is the problem. Many people just give very generic gyan. I want to see your answer sheets and then I will recommend something. It is like a prescription from a doctor. It's very simple, right? Some things may work for you, some things may not, right? So I want you to join so that you can get a very personalized mentorship and approach. Also, you will have thematic videos. Also, we'll cover current affairs in this program, So you may not worry about anything. You will have this smart current affairs classes of Vajiram and Ravi, which are very much important, very insightful, right? You'll have essay module as well, right? You'll have essay modules by Piyush sir. Also, you have CSET sessions, you have prelims, camp test series, right? You have mains test series, you have recorded lectures on answer enhancement by me, right? Also, you'll have syllabus wise mains and prelims workbooks in the sense very concise, very important value addition material that you can supplement, right? So many of you keep asking me book list and all those things. Pratik is also asking. Basics remain the same, just for the value addition we'll provide you something else so that it can be done in a very short time. I'll show you a demo as well, right? And finally, toppers level notes will be required from your end, and we'll guide you how to build them. Mentors will guide you how to build these kinds of notes, right? So this is around this figure, but again, you can contact our office if you are ex Vajiram students, and you will get some discounts, right? So this is the overall program. So here again, a topper will be there to guide you, mentor will be there to guide you. You have your camp prelims, you have your mains test series covered, you have your current affairs covered. So basically, what I asked in the beginning, what is the major components? Everything will be covered, right? So you need not do anything apart from this program for your UPSC 2026. Okay? I hope it is clear. Now, I'll just show you what you will get. So this program has been designed in such a way, the phases I discussed with you. The phase 1 will be the foundation. The phase 2 will be the integration. The phase 3 will be prelims exclusive, and finally phase 4 after prelims, that will be mains exclusive. So this is overall 18 months program, 18 months comprehensive program where we will guide you from beginning to end, from prelims to interview. Everything will be covered. Don't worry about anything. Just I want from you is dedication. What I want from you is hard work and discipline. So if a mentor, if I call you, suppose, you should be there, or at least you should be available at a certain point in near future, right? So there will be follow-up calls by the mentors, so that I know many students will face these ups and downs in their preparation, and that is very common. What I want you to focus, because you are just going by motivation. You are just going by motivation. Motivation kabhi high hota hai, kabhi low hota hai. Issue ye hai motivation ka. But when you actually invest in systems, you get is processes. Processes will instill discipline. So instead of this sinusoidal curve, you have this plain line, right? Mentor will call you 2 times in a week. Okay, what is your status? You will have your targets, weekly targets. That is dependent on you. Very personalized things. Prelims discussion, mains discussion, toppers analysis, answer writing templates and framework, workbooks, everything, right? So my dear students, it is very different from basically PCM course, because PCM is like foundation. Foundation in the sense, they'll tell you about in classes. Faculty will be there to teach about the topics, right? If someone is not able to understand the concepts, so again, they can enroll in that as well. But at the same time, if they need guidance, a mentorship, how to apply that knowledge, then again, this course is very important. Suppose you know development of vernacular education. You have discussed this in your class as well. But how to write that in 150 words, or how to present that idea in this very small space? So here are workbooks. Our mentors will help you do that, right? So this is something that you will get with our workbooks. All the initiatives of India in very concise fashion, right? Also, this will be current affairs fact sheets that you can revise very quickly, right? We'll also tell you how to make these topper level notes, right? So suppose this is the role of NGO topic. So what is the recent developments? We'll color code whatever is there, validation things, right? So challenges faced by NGOs, state और NGO का क्या issues रहता है, फिर उसके बाद क्या way forward होगा, क्या conclusion होगा, whatever is there, it will be 1 pages, so that you can actually apply that, right? Revision will only happen when you have very short crisp content. बार बार किताबें रिवाइज नहीं होती, और होंगी 1-2 बार हो जाएंगी. But in actual mains, what you need in mains is at least 5 to 7 iterations of revision. people who have given mains will understand key in actual exam you will be able to write only what you have internalized within you. There's a dialogue in the film, blood mein hona chahiye, right? So basically everything should be in your blood. If I wake you up in 4 a.m. in the morning, you should be able to tell, yes sir, this is what it is. And that will only come when you revise regularly. Revision is the key. Revision, consolidation, refinement. And then write the test. Write the test, get the feedback from the mentor, come again. And that's how you will improve 1%, 10% every day. So suppose we have 75 weeks with us now when you write prelims. So take it these 75 weeks as 75 attempts. In every week, you will learn something, you'll improve on that, so that you'll actually do not commit any mistake in mains or prelims next year. This is my target. Right? This is what I want from you. Also, my dear students, I'll personally be taking some very important sessions how to do the answer writing. Suppose there is a question on introduction regarding emotional intelligence. So many people will just tell you emotional intelligence this. But what is the best way to actually introduce your answer? So I'll show you these 4 ways are there. Suppose you can start with definition, you can start with a quote, you can use a book, something like that. For every subject, I'll provide you frameworks so that you can actually write in a good way. Even the answers that you don't know, you can write in a good way. Okay? Similarly, I'll tell you why, what are the components of answer writing, what makes a good answer, what differentiates an average answer from the topper level answers. I have personally designed the evaluation patterns as well, so that you will actually get whatever is practical in UPSC mains. Many people, many institutes do this. They'll give you 250 marks in optional when you're checking. Just take 6 numbers. But in actual main exam, you will understand, okay, 70, 80 are there. You are achieving only 180, right? So I want this to be very, very transparent. And that's why I urge you to actually enroll. So this is some of the templates I was talking about. So suppose how you can use this template, evolution approach. So if there's a question about attitude, what are the components and how it is developed? So you can talk about early childhood, then teenage, then adult, then mid-career training or something like that. Similarly, if there is a question on significance of AI on law enforcement agencies. So think about how it is impacting general public, how vulnerable sections, how juniors, how colleagues, how women. So various stakeholders. Similarly, this is special approach, economic, political, social, technological, environmental. So how to apply these things in actual exam? This is what I'll particularly tell you. My team will tell you, right? So this is what you get. Also, how to include these diagrams. This is again very important for you, because again, presentation is the key. Many people have the content, but they do not have the presentation. So how to present your content in those 150 to 250 words effectively, so that you can actually stand out. This is what you need. Okay? Also, we'll give you the frameworks for the committees for actually way forward conclusion. So suppose these are some of the conclusions that you can use for internal security, cyber security, right? Cyber Surakshit Bharat, right? FATF, economy, SDGs, how to link it with government schemes, things like that. So everything from prelims to mains, even the interview will be handled by us if you give us the chance, right? So these are some of the ways we will help you through our Step Up Mentorship Program 2026. And believe me, if you just give your best in these next 18 months, we make sure it is our responsibility that you will achieve your true potential. You will achieve a very good rank, right? This is from my end. Also, before concluding, I just want you to remember 3 eternal things that I always tell my students. First thing is, before anything, you have to cultivate positive thinking. And this is what I said: ask, believe, and receive. Right? This is very, very true. Right? Many successful people do this. Visualization techniques. Right? They write it down. Will Smith is a prime example of that. Many other actors have done that. Right? I will be getting this offer in this year from the industry. Right? Many toppers do this. I'll achieve under 50 AIR in 2026. And they have done it. Right? So first, cultivate this positive thinking, self-belief. Always believe that it's not over until you win. मन के हारे हार है, मन के जीतती है. Always remember this. It is up to you. If you think you can, you will. Always, this is the full stop. It is your dream, you have to pursue it. I am there to help you in every way possible. But finally, it is your dream. Right? Second thing I want you to understand is control the controllables and forget about the rest. I told you about this stairs, right? Where Deepika was here. So control the controllable. Past is in not your control. Future is in not your control. You have your present with you. Focus on that. Right? Similarly, scoring is not in your control. Learning from the test is in your control. Focus on that. And finally, have a very good team around you, because you are average of 5 people around you. Always remember that. So choose your friends, choose your mentors accordingly, because you are average of the 5 people around you. Okay? And this is why you need to have a right team around you. You need to have a right ecosystem around you. Fogat sisters, why they can clear those hurdles so easily? Because their father had built that system for them. All the 3 sisters achieved miracles, basically, right? And you see so many toppers in UPSC as well. Some sisters have cracked UPSC without much issues, because they have their history, right? So again, this is kind of a social capital that is being transferred. I'm not against it or something. It is just I'm saying social capital is very much transferable. Okay, so just have someone who can actually guide you. So these are some of the lessons that I wanted to convey this to you. So always remember, this is what I believe as well. This is your perfect chance to actually clear UPSC 2026 with a very good rank. But condition is you have to start early, because end में क्या होगा, बस आप रैंक के लिए जूझ रहे होगे कि लिस्ट में नाम आ जाए, या किसी तरह मेंस क्लियर हो जाए, या किसी तरह प्रीलिम्स क्लियर हो जाए. I don't want that attitude. I want full-fledged preparation. One go. This is your last attempt. इसके बाद वो कयामत का दिन ही है. That's all. Last attempt. Take it as that. Right? So this is the best time for you, because you have to start early if you want to finish well. So well begun is half done. This is what my message to you is through this session. And finally, before concluding, I would like to remind a very good, basically this is one of the favorite characters. So Pooh is basically asking you to promise me that you will always remember, you are braver than you believe, you are stronger than you seem, and you are smarter than you think. Always remember this. Let no one tell you that you cannot do, you cannot fulfill your dream. Only thing is stopping you is yourself. Take the decision, act on it, and always seek guidance. Because otherwise वो हर attempt के बाद समझ आता है क्या ये गलती हो गई, हर interview के बाद समझ आता है वो गलती हो गई. Right? I don't want you to commit 5 years, 8 years, 10 years in this preparation. No. Just 1 year, your best year. That's all. Right? So this is it from me. I'll take your sessions, questions and answers. So whatever questions you have, you can write in the comment box. So Balaji, Decimus, Prateek, work smart. What is your name? I want to know your name and your problems. So if you have any issues, if you have any questions, you can direct it to me. Okay, Rama, it's great to have you here. Thank you, Deepika. Thank you for attending this session. Thank you for participating. It has been a wonderful session, very interactive. I love to interact with you. And again, you can scan this QR code for better details of the program, or you can contact this number, right? So also you can ask them to contact me if you want to have a session before you join, right? So again, this is a very okay. Balaji is asking, it will actually help you, Balaji. It is essential. That's what I said. If you have done your foundation, if you are doing your foundation, it will only add up to it. Because what happens is, foundation chalta hai, तब आप टेस्ट नहीं लिख रहे, तब आप आंसर प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर रहे, so you are not practicing your answers, you're not analyzing your results, then the first attempt will be very difficult, right? Because you are not learning, you are just revising your notes. Again, that is important, but at the same time you have to apply what you are learning in the classes, and this learning application will happen only in this program, right? Where a very specific, because suppose you are in a class, a teacher, a faculty is the word class here, there's no doubt about that, but at the same time they have the limitation of time. They have 500 students with you, again there are a lot of batches, so again time is a constraint there. So you can ask one or two doubts from the faculty, but at the same time, if you want day in day out someone to actually be with you, sir, what, how is my progress, कैसा improve कर रहा हूं मैं answers में, so you will need that. Balaji, let me tell you, 7-8 hours are more than enough. More than enough. If you do it today, start from today, 7-8 hours are not people in Rajendra Nagar are able to allocate. It is a very sad truth. Because what happens is when you are working, you have other life as well. You have this urgency. I have only next 3 hours where I could study. So you will actually study. People sometimes tend to procrastinate if they are not having any other thing. So again, it is a very good opportunity for working professionals as well, right? Okay, Prateek, I will definitely consider your request and have a session regarding a book list, an optional video. What is your optional, Prateek? What is your optional, Prateek? You can tell me. Okay, if you have any other queries, you can reach out to our help desk. They will guide you about this program. So thank you for attending this session, and I hope you will come out with flying colors in 2026 attempt, and I'm always there to help you out with that. See you in the program. Thank you.